Hello everyone, this is Joshua Wessels. Today I have made a presentation to talk to you about antibiotics and how important it is to be careful not to help the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. This information is very important to anyone who is an adult and has the option to purchase and use antibiotics, and this will help you decide whether or not to take them. According to Sabrina Felsen from WebMD, antibiotics are medicines that help stop infections caused by bacteria. They do this by killing the bacteria or by keeping them from copying themselves or reproducing. The word antibiotic comes from the two Greek words anti, which means against, and bio, which means life. Antibiotics can be used to treat almost any infection that is caused by bacteria. Antibiotics will most likely help treat and defeat some ear infections, strep throat, whooping cough, and more, but they will not work on any infections caused by a virus, such as the common cold, a sore throat, or the flu. Antibiotics are very helpful in dealing with bacterial infections, but there are some downsides. Using antibiotics can cause side effects such as vomiting, nausea, and diarrhea, as well as occasionally causing hives, coughing, wheezing, and making it difficult to breathe if there is an allergic reaction to the antibiotics you took. Antibiotics are a great thing, but they are being overused, causing bacterial resistance. According to the CDC, over 35,000 people die from antibiotic-resistant bacteria each year in the USA, and it is partly because of the overuse of antibiotics that the bacteria are developing this immunity. These new bacteria are called superbugs, and according to the World Health Organization, one of the most dangerous superbugs is Klebsiella pneumoniae. Around 3% to 5% of the population today has Klebsiella pneumoniae, but most people can have the bacteria without getting sick. It tends to hit people with weak immune systems or an acute infection. This superbug can cause severe gastrointestinal infections, pneumonia, or blood poisoning. Another dangerous superbug is Candida auris. It is a bacterium that is proving resistant to all the antibiotics normally used to treat Candida infections. So far, it has shown up on 5 continents, and it is very hard to get rid of. So hard that some hospitals have had to close to get rid of it. It normally does not infect healthy people, but patients who are ill or have recently had surgery are at risk. The third most dangerous superbug, according to the World Health Organization, is the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. This superbug is highly resistant to antibiotics and thrives in wet or moist areas, and it is very hard to eradicate. It is normally only found in people with weakened immune systems, but it can be caught by healthy people as well, causing ear and skin infections. Some reasons that superbugs have been able to grow and things that have contributed to the growth of antibiotic-resistant bacteria are the ease of availability of antibiotics, the use of antibiotics in animals that we get our food from, a poor regulation of antibiotic use in hospitals, a lack of research on new antibiotics to target the bacteria, the fact that we did not watch the growth of antibiotic-resistant bacteria very well and notice it sooner, misuse of antibiotics in clinics, and the relatively poor quality of available antibiotics in some countries and places all contribute to antibiotic resistance. One of the biggest reasons that this problem is growing is the overuse of antibiotics today. There are a few ways that you can help slow the spread of antibiotic resistance. One of them is to trust your doctor when they say that you don't need to take antibiotics. Since they don't help against viral infections, don't take them to try to cure an infection that's caused by a virus. Only use the antibiotics that the doctor prescribes for you, and only in the amounts that they prescribe. Take the antibiotics as you are directed to. Don't skip any doses of your antibiotics because that can give the bacteria time to adapt and mutate to become more immune. Take the antibiotics for the full number of days that your doctor prescribes them for you. Do not save the antibiotics for later and use the correct amounts at the correct times according to your doctor's orders. Doing these things will help slow the spread of antibiotic resistance. Because of how easy it is for people to get their hands on antibiotics, and the fact that there are no restrictions on how many antibiotics you can take and how often you take them, a lot of people take antibiotics whenever they feel sick and feel like they need them when they really don't. If you take antibiotics whenever you feel sick, the bacteria will start to develop immunities to the antibiotics and boost antibiotic resistance. Because the bacteria pathogens that give us diseases are constantly mutating and changing, this is why we need a new flu shot every year, the old antibiotics that we always use are going to become ineffective. We are just speeding up the process quite a lot, so we need to pour more time, energy, and money into funding research of new types of antibiotics to target the new superbugs that are developing. When we use antibiotics in animals that produce food for us, it increases the chances for us to get the bacteria from the animals in the food we eat. People can catch a bacteria in different ways, by eating or touching raw or undercooked meat and eggs, eating or touching unwashed fruits and vegetables, touching animal waste or drinking it in their water, and by not properly washing their hands after handling animals. Some ways to make sure that your food is safe to eat and is not contaminated with bacteria are to clean your hands, cooking utensils and surfaces before and after you cook, keep your raw meat separate from your other food, cook your food thoroughly, make sure it isn't raw using a food thermometer, and chill your leftovers right away after your meal is finished. Clinical misuse of antibiotics is when clinics prescribe antibiotics when they are not needed. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, at least 30% of the prescriptions for antibiotics are unnecessary. One of the most inappropriate uses of antibiotics by clinics is when they prescribe antibiotics for a viral infection, such as viral bronchitis and sinusitis. Because there was little to no surveillance of the bacteria that developed immunities to antibiotics, they were able to grow and multiply fast and unchallenged and become superbugs. Now they are a major problem. To avoid problems like this in the future, we need to be aware of what microbes are doing and what diseases are arising, and work on ways to stop or slow them down before they become a major problem. In conclusion, we need to do a few things. Be careful how we interact with animals that have taken antibiotics and could have antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Only use antibiotics when it is necessary and do not take them for little things. Watch for new diseases and threats arising from the microbe world and fight them early, and help fund research on new antibiotics to help fight superbugs. Thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation and for listening to what I have to say. Thank you to the following websites where I found information to build my presentation, and I hope that you learned a good amount from my public safety announcement. I hope that you will take what you learned from this PSA and use it when you think about taking antibiotics next time. Thank you and have a good day.